What is the fastest way of adding a 3D terrain to your scene without using pre-made assets? Terramel Node might be an answer. This Blender Geometry Nodes based tool might be the right solution for you. It is very easy to use and you can generate different types of terrain in no time. It has some advantages and disadvantages, and you will learn more about them in this video. Let's start with this simple example. What you see here actually looks like this. But for you, it will look like this. Just one node. And before I continue introducing you to this node, I just want to show you one trick. When you're in a full screen mode for a particular viewport, you can enable this full screen mode by pressing Ctrl spacebar. If the object that you're previewing is a really high resolution object, you don't want to press Ctrl spacebar again to go back to the normal view, because it will take some time. So what you should do is go here, Geometry Nodes Editor. You see here sub D12. Just lower it down to something like sub D8 or 7. And now when you go back to the 3D viewport, you will see that we have a low resolution preview of the terrain. Don't go back and forth to high subdivision levels and low subdivision levels just to check the final look of your terrain. What you can do is either use this 1/4 segment switch, which will speed up the subdivision process 4 times, or you can set it up at a lower subdivision level, like maybe 7, then press 0, and then adjust your scene. Turn it off here, go to subdivision 12, and then press render. Now let me introduce you to Terramel Node. This is not a part of the Terrain Mixer package. It's a totally different thing, it works differently, and it's a lot easier to use. It has less features, but all the features are very powerful. The node itself was inspired by Blender user Cartesian Caramel. He came up with some solutions that I thought are very interesting. It was a different way of approaching the terrain generation. So I decided to test some of his suggestions, and I came up with something that's rather complex and also very, very useful. When you look at this node here, you can separate it in the zones. So for example, this would be the first zone, this here would be the second zone, then here we have third zone and this fourth zone. So in this first zone, we define the overall shape of the terrain. Then we also define the activator or the first influencer, and we can also add additional influencer. In the second zone, we make overall changes to the terrain. So for example, here we can scale terrain features or break them. Then we can rotate the base. We can rotate the angle of the base to get slopes. We can define the volume erosion. And also we can define cascades and so on. So you can also see here we have options to do falloffs, which is a very powerful feature as well. In this third zone, we have 2 subsections. The first one is marked A, and the second one is marked B. This B has something to do with this B here, the B activator or the influencer, because it actually defines what will happen to the area that is affected by this influencer here. So here you adjust strength, clipping, rotation of the elements, the ridges, and also you can define how your erosion will look like. This last zone here has some checkboxes which are also very useful. So for example, if I zoom it in, you see we can invert terrain configuration, like so. What is up is now down. We can add some ground elements. We can add some rocky layers. And the last 2 drop downs here help you see the available masks which you can use later on for either coloring or instancing or whatever you need. Now, one other thing that I want to mention is that you can scale this terrain, and you can do that by adding the transform geometry node. You can add transform geometry node either after the Terramel node. So now you would just select these scale sliders and scale your terrain. Or you can add the same node before the Terramel node. And now if you change the values of the scale sliders, you get something like this, which is really cool if you want to zoom in into a certain area. Okay, now let's check what influencers actually are. If I make these Bezier curves visible, you will see that they match these ridges here. If I would select and move them on X and Y axis, so I'm pressing Shift Z, G Shift Z, you see that the terrain is changing. If I would go here and adjust the influence of this B influencer, you see what happens. Input here is also marked B, and these sliders here are marked B. So this is the B zone, and everything else is the A zone. So if you change something here, it will only affect where the B influence is. And if you change something here, it will only affect where the A zone is. Now there's also one other option, and that is to use the alternative source to influence the terrain. We have this alternative B source switch, and we can plug this alternative B source influence. You see? And now if I move these two Bezier curves, nothing happens. And that's because the terrain is now activated by the values that are defined by these textures. You can also use Voronoi texture or any other. Also, you can define the position like so. There's also one other influencer that you can use. This one will not affect the structure of the terrain, but it will help you adjust the height of the certain areas. So you can see it here. It says C influencer. And I can enable this curve so you can see it. Now, if I select this curve and move it around, you will see what happens. I also mentioned that we have falloffs, so let us enable this falloff version 1 switch. You can change the position of your falloff, and you can also change the sharpness of your falloff. There's also an alternative version of the falloff, which affects the terrain in a more extreme way. Of course, you can also rotate the falloff. The version 1 of the falloff also has different types. This is type 1. Here's type 2. Sometimes you won't see a lot of a difference. And here's type 3. After you have defined the major areas, you can play a bit with strength, clipping, the clip unflat value, rotation, ridges, shader, and also surface erosion. Of course, at any time, you can increase the subdivision level to get more details. I have to wait 6 seconds for subdivision 10. You can enable render preview. Let's change the top clipping value. You can also go to the shader editor. Here we have set a simple material for the terrain. Of course, you can add textures and whatnot. We can also affect the world material. And this all helps us understand our terrain better. That's it for this first video. I hope you'll have fun. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. You can find all the important links in the description. Cheers!